We welcome our viewers here in the United States and parts of the world. And today, we want to look back at how we voted. If what we voted is what we are getting, or if the promises or the impression that we were given is what we are getting. So we want to find out what's going on the ground. Are we getting the promises that were given to us, or we are not getting the promises that were given to us? I mean, during the campaign in 2021, we had a big election, presidential and parliamentary election. That was a big general election. So there are things that were told to us that made us vote in a certain way. And we would like to find out if what we voted for is what we are getting, or at least some of the things we voted for are what we are getting. And I would like to be fair with the government because they're only 6 months in office. So they still have time to fulfill what they promised, but is the life, the cost of living, is it going to allow us to be patient, or to be patient enough until they deliver what they promised, or we are disappointed, or we feel betrayed by our votes? So all those questions, these are the things we want to deal with, and I have Mr. Mwelwa Chanoda with me here to look into all these issues. So may I welcome Mr. Mwelwa on the program today.
Thank you so much, Mr. BaPhiri. I really appreciate this opportunity to be hosted on your radio. And I want to send my greetings to the people of the United States of America and all other nations that are listening to this program.
Thank you, Mr. Mwelwa, and thank you for wishing us the best. Let me ask you, Mr. Mwelwa. In August, we went for the elections and we were promised so many things. Tell me what's going on in the country. Tell me the things that we were promised. Are we getting them? Or what should happen to help the people? Because I know for sure that a lot of people, a number of people, have committed suicide because they can't cope with what is happening in the country. I know committing suicide is not the solution, and it's not a good thing. And we should discourage that at all costs. You know, we should encourage people, no matter how much what we are passing through, we should not commit suicide. But Mr. Mwelwa, tell us what's happening on the ground.
All right, thank you very much. I want to be as honest as possible. I think I've said this times without number that political leaders must have a few tenets as they request the Zambian people to vote for them. Firstly, they must be responsible, they must be consistent, and they must be truthful. And indeed, the UPND government promised quite a number of things, that they would do once they form government. And unfortunately, as we speak now, I think there's only about 0.001 that they've done out of 10. And for me, makes me to bleed. It makes me to cry. It makes me to have pain because it seems we are taking the Zambian people for granted. I'll be honest with you, I'll give you an example. Just a simple thing. They said the moment they form government and their budget is in operation, they are going to recruit 30,000 teachers, about 11,000 plus health workers. But as we speak now, the Vice President just yesterday informed this nation that they're going to do that gradually this year. So, and for me, it gives me a worry because they told me that in January 2022, we are definitely going to do this recruitment without fail. But now, Camp said we want to see that all those teachers that were that had upgraded without promotion, we need to look at them and promote them. So by February, we are going to. February came. They said we need to look at the infrastructure, education infrastructures that have yet to be completed. So before we recruit, we want to finish those, structures. We understood as this, and the Vice President this March said we are going to do it gradually. So honestly, I think these people seem not to know what they want to do for the Zambian people. They have lied to the Zambian people. They have lied to the Zambian people, and we are worried. Say, but why must this be in this way? They promise A and they do B. After doing B, they promising C, doing D. So in short, we're in confusion. There is literally nothing that they are fulfilled in terms of their promise.
How about the mealie meal prices? They promised that they could bring them down for the Zambian people, because I know that the mealie meal thing is the mealie meal that is here in America they call it cornmeal. Cornmeal is the staple food in Zambia. For our viewers here in the United States who may not understand what that means, in Zambia we call it mealie meal, and here in the United States it's called cornmeal or corn flour. They promise that that is the staple food that everybody eats in the country at least twice a day. They may have some tea in the morning, and during lunchtime or in the evening they must have cornmeal. They can mix it with vegetables, they can mix it with chicken, or they can mix it with any other side dish. But that is the main dish. That is the main food for the country. Mr. Ngwira, how about the promise for the cornmeal? They promise that they're going to bring down mealie meal prices. How is that going on there? Is there any sign that it's coming down?
I'll be honest with you and the people of the United States of America and every other nation that is watching this program. I think, sorry to use this word, we were conned, we were deceived, and we were told lies. As we speak now, a 25 kg of cornmeal, or is it corn flour, that the UPND government promised to bring it to about 50 kwacha per 25 kg bag, is now fetching at about 180 kwacha, which in dollar might be somewhere about maybe $10 or so. May not be so sure looking at the exchange rate that we have. So it's about $10 to $11, when in fact they promised the Zambian people that they are going to bring this commodity to a price that is less than $5. They promised the Zambian people that this commodity is going to be reduced to about maybe $4 to $3 per 25 kg bag. Not only that, we are talking about fuel prices. They promised us that they are going to reduce per liter from about $10 to about $5 somewhere there, $4 somewhere there. But as we speak now, the commodity, the fuel per liter has gone to above $10.
Now, let me cut you short, Mr. Ngwira, because I would like our viewers in the United States to understand what we are talking about. Our viewers, you have to understand that this is a country that over 90% of the population are living below, not $1, but below $1 a day. So these are people that are living below $1 a day. And you are going to raise the main food, the main staple food, to more than $10 a day. To more than $10. That's what Mr. Ngwira is trying to say. I'm trying to interpret what Mr. Ngwira is saying so that everybody can understand and can be on the same page with what we are doing.
Yeah.
So if people are living below $1 a day, and then you raise the price to more than $10, it's a very big hardship. That's what Mr. Ngwira is trying to say.
Yes.
And not only that, most of the youths, which is 75%, over 60% of the population are below 35 years old, which means they are youths. Most of them, they don't have work, they don't have a job, they don't have any other thing they can do. Maybe the best they could do is to stand on the street and sell something. Or maybe to stand on the bus station. Like here in America, one of the things I could maybe compare it for the sake of our viewers to understand, it could be like on 42nd Street, where maybe you have some people selling small things right around there. Maybe they have a stand and they are selling some food, or they have a stand they are selling. So they're on the street selling to people that are traveling. Those people have been blocked. They have been stopped from doing all that kind of business. So there is no any other means of living. There are no jobs. People can't trade on the street. And these people are living below $1 a day. And still more, this government will have the guts to remove all these people on the streets. And this is what, like Mr. Ngwira is saying, that it's very hard for these people even to find anything to eat. And they will raise the price to over $10 a day.
Yeah.
When these people are living below $1 a day. Mr. Ngwira, did I describe exactly what you are trying to say?
No, Mr. Peter, I appreciate that you have explained to the viewers and listeners from the United States of America and other, countries that are connected. And to just be clear, this government promised the Zambian people that they're going to let them start buying fuel per liter under less than $1, maybe half $1 per liter. But as we are speaking now, we are getting 1 liter of petrol for more than $1. And this is just fuel. When you talk of bread, you talk of food commodities and all that, we are definitely living beyond what the national daily shopping basket is allowing us as citizens. So I think you've described it so well, and I appreciate that you've broken it down in such a way that I think everyone is able to, understand. So yes, in simple terms, these guys lied.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed with this government. I was hoping that they can do better, you see, because when they were complaining about the previous government, which is PF, I think that's where I belong to. But I wasn't happy with everything that was happening, but that's where I belong to. But when they were complaining, I was like, okay, so maybe these people will do the best, because I think they understand the problems, especially on the youth's empowerment. I was expecting that the first thing they will do when they get into office will be to deal with the problem of the youths. Because the majority of the country, like I'm saying, all these people are young people. They are young people. They are below 35 years old. This is the majority, the big chunk of the population. Even the ones that have gone to school, even the ones that have graduated, and some of them are doctors, some of them are nurses, some of them are school teachers. I think the other week, I think a week or so ago, I was watching where doctors that have graduated from the University of Zambia, they have finished everything. They are not yet employed. And these doctors, I think about 800 of them, went to demonstrate, asking when they can be employed. What can you tell us about that, Mr. Ngwira?
It's quite so disheartening that we live in a country where our political leaders that have been given an opportunity to lead us cannot accept that we've basically failed. We are living in a country where it is politics as usual. We are living in a country where a poor voter out there is crying, waiting to have hope, waiting to see a green light, waiting to see when these politicians are going to fulfill their promises. As we speak now, Mr. Piri, this country has got more than 60–70% unemployed youths. And there is no plan whatsoever. And that makes me to say, why do these youths go and line up to vote for these leaders? I pray that one day we are going to have sanity. The 2.8 million Zambians that voted for this government are actually in the motion of regret. They're asking themselves, why did we have to vote for these people who lied to us, who deceived us, who promised things that they knew they cannot fulfill? They promised the Zambian youth that if you are a farmer, you are going to get 1 bag of fertilizer that was fetching around 600 kwacha, which is about plus minus maybe $50. They promised the Zambian people that they're going to start buying that commodity at maybe $20 or less. But as we speak now, they have purchased fertilizer at more than $70 per bag. And all those are lies. We were promised that this government is going to make sure that the cost of living in this country called Zambia will be reduced even beyond half. But unfortunately, it has been increased by more than 2 or by more than double.
Wow.
And I don't even know how I'm going to move from my home to go to church, because the fuel is very expensive and I'm driving a very big car. I'm driving a vehicle that is about 3 liters or so. How am I going to go to church to go and worship my God? So these are the lies that these people have come with to govern this nation.
It's very unfortunate that the whole country was just, I feel misled. I feel misled. I don't know how other people feel, but I feel misled. I feel that we were given an impression just in order to vote, and after the votes, what we got is completely different, you know? And it's amazing to me. You know, I fail to understand this thing. Maybe, Mr. Mwelwa, you can try to break it down for me. But I personally, and many other people I know, they fail to understand that if you form government and you get the money from IMF, $1.3 billion. I'm still complaining about that money, and a lot of people may hate me for that. I will still be complaining about that money. That money was, this is the first loan. This is the first loan that this government took from IMF. And they took that loan in order to go and build roads and the schools in the western part and the northwestern part of the country.
Yeah.
I feel that that money was supposed to be used for youth, for employment, create employment for the people, give people what they can do to earn a living, instead of building roads.
Mr.
When
Baphiri,
the
let me not-
PF
I'm not
government,
trying to
which
cut
is the
you,
previous
but the
government,
IMF
did a
I'm not trying
lot
to
of
cut you.
roads, a lot
I'm not
of
trying to cut you.
schools, you know? So why should we spend the same money again to things that we already have, instead of doing things that we don't have, like food on the table? We don't have food on the table. Why not use that money to create food on the table?
I'll be honest with you, Comrade Piri, that I think you've been on this earth for at least more than 50 years
Yes.
than some of us that are, basically less than 40 years on this earth. Just that deal of the IMF has brought us calamity this country, because the IMF have not even given us that money. And unfortunately, the budget of this country was based on the IMF loan, because we are unable to domestically raise funds to fund the budget. So this is the reason why you are seeing that the cost of living is getting more higher and higher and higher, because we have to fulfill the conditions that the IMF gave us, when in fact we have natural resources all over. We have minerals, we have everything around in this country that can manage us to pay back the debt, to restart our economy, and be self-reliant. But because this government came into office using lies, came into office using mischievous tactics, came into this office using what I may call false pretenses, we are here we are today. and we are yet to have a hard life, because the IMF is going to make sure that all the conditionalities that they have given are fulfilled before we are given that money. And we are already in March. They have not spent anything. They don't have money. The CDF that they promised 25 point something million has not yet started, because they are yet to fulfill the conditions of the International Monetary Fund. So we are in trouble.
I know, you know what, Mr. Ngwira, I'm really heartbroken, and I really don't know what is the way forward. Because when I'm looking at all these things, it's really a big problem. And
no, the way forward is for the Zambian people to vote these people out come 2026. There is no other way forward. And the other option, which I know they cannot do, is for them to accept that they have failed, is to accept that they cannot govern, and let them down tools and resign. Let the government dissolve itself, and we call upon fresh elections as soon as yesterday. That is the only solution. We can't hide.
Yeah, because, I mean, I agree with you, Mr. Ngwira, because the thing is that people are committing suicide because they can't live. There's nothing to do. There's no job, there's no nothing, you know,
There's no
and
payments.
they can't sell anything on the street. So most of them are just committing suicide, which is not a good thing, you know.
And there are no payments. Contractors are not being paid.
You see?
Those that have supplied goods and services to government, they are not being paid. I'm a contractor. I've never been paid. And I don't know what policy they're using for us to be blocked.
Yeah, this is just too much, you know. This is just too much. And upon all these things, instead of going to Parliament and table and it put on the floor a bill that can help the Zambian people, they are putting on the table a bill that is allowing men to marry so many women, as if that is going to be a solution. And I don't even know why that is a solution, why it's an emergency. So, Mr. Ngwira, I would like us to continue this discussion next week. Our time is gone, so I would like you to make some closing remarks. We will continue this thing, and I know we can't finish it. I would like you to make some closing remarks so that you can tell the world what's going on the ground in South Central Africa. This is a country called Zambia. It is an example. Yeah. It is a country that is described as a beacon of peace in Africa. Mm. We are non-violent people, and we like peace.
My closing remarks are simple. I want to appreciate Breakthrough Radio, the directors and the producers of this program. And I'd want to encourage them that please keep on engaging us. Maybe in the United States of America, we're here in Zambia, we will still make sure that we bring forth what we are going through as a country. Zambia is an independent country. And thank God, it's not the USA that colonized us. Hence, we can easily go to them and ask them to help us. Because what we are going through is something that is sad. We are politically independent on paper, but we are definitely still colonized without the economy. So thank you very much, Mr. Phiri. Thank you very much to all the producers, directors of this program. I am available. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to be persecuted. I'm ready to go to jail for speaking for the Zambian people. Yes, I know my government is not going to allow me certain things. But when Mr. Haka in the HLM he was given such platforms like mine to speak the ill, though they were alive, about this country. But I'm ready. I want to say that the people of America, in case I'm harassed, be ready to welcome me to be a citizen of the United States of America. But even there, I'll speak about the ills of this country.
Thank you, Mr. Ngwira, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, our viewers, for listening to us. And whatever help can be given, whatever advice can be given is all welcome. All we need is to finish this problem once and for all. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
God bless America, God bless Zambia, and God bless the whole world. Thank you so much.